happy Halloween, scrapbook friends. Tomorrow's Halloween, and so I'm working a little bit out of order this time because I wanted to do something Halloweenish. I'm kind of in the spooky season spirit and was wishing, I wish I could do something Halloween. And then I remembered, oh, well, I've got Haunted Mansion pictures. So we're working a little bit out of order, but I hope you'll indulge me to have a little bit of Halloween fun. I did go off of the sketch from the virtual crop group on Facebook, but as you can see, we kind of went in a totally different direction. I was able to use some two different Halloween paper packs, and I actually had a lot of fun, and this one made me happy. I got a big old smile on my face, had a great time creating this layout with Wicked Cute and the primary Halloween editions, and I hope that you will enjoy watching my process and that it will inspire you in your own scrapbooking. So here we go. All right, so the next layout that we have after the Sleeping Beauty, remember we did the arches last week, is just these pictures around the castle, these cute pictures of Michelle in her graduation shirt, and then this little statue of Sleeping Beauty and Prince Philip. However, tomorrow's Halloween. I love Halloween, and Creative Memories is doing it ended Monday, but a Halloween sketch challenge in the virtual crop group. And so if I only jump ahead like 5 layouts, we get to the Haunted Mansion. And so even though Halloween is not on a Thursday this year, our church is having our trunk or treat on Thursday night. So I'm in Halloween mode. I don't think I can leave the bracelets on for my whole video because they'll get in my way, but I left them on for a minute for you guys. So we're going to jump ahead and do a Halloween themed layout. And I am going to start with this sketch from the Creative Memories virtual crop group. When they posted it last, I don't know, Friday, it was under the featured tab, so it may still be there. If you're in the unofficial Creative Memories layout ideas Facebook group, it's posted in one of the albums there too, so you'll still be able to get it. But I have way more pictures than 4, so we're going to kind of start with this as our base layout, and then kind of see where it takes us as we get going. So then it's a thought about which Halloween paper pack do I want to use. And you know, somewhere around here I've got some hide and eek that I used with the Savvy Scrapbookers this month, but I don't think I want to use that. I'm going to pull out my bin of Halloween themed papers, which is actually kind of sparse, but let's see what I've got in here. I don't have hide and eek in here because I didn't put away. I've got a little bit of Full Moon Fun. I've got quite a bit of Booyah. I've got a lot of Happy Hauntings and Wicked Cute. I loved Wicked Cute. That was, I think, my favorite Halloween collection. And Halloween Editions. This is from old CM. I haven't even looked at this one in 100 years. Oh, it had this cute tree paper with the owl. I've obviously used this for other things, but I don't think there's enough of that. Man, I got a lot of this out. I don't know that there's enough of this. Also, wouldn't it be nice to use up? Oh, my heart is saying Wicked Cute. I also really do like Happy Hauntings, and I have the ghosts. I love the ghost chain, and of course the bats and stars. I have the spider webs, but that's over at my studio, so it's not accessible for me today. Let me look at the colors. It's kind of got this blue, which really goes nice with Wicked Cute. I've got all these little tiny ghost pictures, so I think it's not going to be 3 photos and 1 at the bottom. I think we're going to probably be doing, modifying this quite a bit. Oh, that's Winnie the Pooh. That doesn't belong in there. Apparently my photo sorting was lacking. There are probably people that can go through Haunted Mansion and not try and take pictures. And most of my pictures do turn out like this, which is, blurry, but some of them turn out okay. Here's the beginning. Here's the ballroom. This is supposedly us with our little hitchhiking ghosts. That's definitely Princeton and Michelle with their little hitchhiking ghost. So I have a lot of pictures. I think we're going to be doing something with a bunch of smaller squares. So like maybe some 3x3 squares or 3 3/4 squares, and then something at the bottom. Let me pull out these Halloween editions. I don't think this is going to work just because I don't have very much left of it. Although, you know, even back in the day, this was cute paper. Halloween done with one or something. This got this. Yeah. I'm thinking I don't want to use this Halloween paper. So I'm going to set this one aside, and I think we're going to go with Wicked Cute because the minute I saw it, my heart skipped a beat. Which I will freely admit is a very silly way to feel about a paper pack. So goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. I'm sure I'll have other opportunities to use those papers. So let's see what I've got in here. We might be having to pull out some cardstock. You know, my goal is to use up a lot of my old papers, and actually this will be, I have all these pieces, which might work really well with my idea of turning this into squares. But do I have anything that can be a background? I do. Oh, but it's the polka dots on the back. I love this polka dot paper. I used to have a shirt that looked just like this that I loved. I love this teal. And this was before they started giving us color options. Oh, this wouldn't be too terrible. I love all these papers. Every one of them. I love them. I love them. I love them. Oh, I don't know how I cut that. And that triangle is crooked, so obviously I cut it wrong. That's harsh on the eyes. Let's see what the stickers look like. Maybe we use a cardstock background, and then I don't have to sacrifice any of my beloved backgrounds. I got 2 sets. Oh, look, there's the spider webs I need. And it's in the blue. And it's got the bats. Maybe I won't use the ghost. I love the ghosts, though. I think I want to use the ghosts. What paper? I like this paper. Oh, it's the back of the bats. But I don't want to use up all my Wicked Cute. See, that's a problem. Does anybody else have that problem of I have this cute Halloween paper, but I don't want to use it all on one layout? Or is that just me? I don't even think we have a color. Maybe aqua. That was our old before Island Waters. Maybe I want a gold. Maybe I want black. Maybe I want dark gray. All right. Let me pull some cardstocks and see what makes my heart skip a beat. All right. So I pulled these 2 to walk over to my wall of cardstock. And I thought I was going to use aqua. So this is aqua. This was our, Island Waters is way too green. So the aqua goes okay, but then I pulled this one. This one's called Terrestrial Teal. And I like the vibrancy of this one, although it's a little blue, so maybe not, but I like it a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, one of those. Or with this paper, we've got the pumpkin. I have just a very few precious sheets of goldenrod left, which is one of my favorite yellows ever. And then I was going to pull black, but then my brain said, what about black shimmer? And although that's not the same black, is it? So I don't know which one of these I should use. And I guess it depends on what, I did get 2 of this, which, what we end up doing. So I think I'm going to start kind of creating the layout before I decide what background paper to put on it, or to put it on. Oh, and I don't know how many of these little papers I'm going to be able to fit, because I think that I'm going to, this is 5.5. If I want these to be 3, yeah, 3 3/4, that's like 8. I don't even know if I have any horizontal photos along the bottom. I'm gonna have some of these, but I could make these small. Oh, apparently I sat with Aubrey. There we are right there. That's me. And it looks like I'm looking down because I'm looking at my phone trying to take the picture. Oh, the dueling guys. Oh, I love all these pictures. All right, so I definitely want to fit in as many of these as I can. And maybe I could do even smaller. I could do like 3 by 3s. And I'd have to do 1 and I can't quite do 2 3/4. This could be the horizontal ones. That's the outside. Madame Leota. Maybe I need to do a like a 1/4 of a page on this side, which is the outside, you know, the although that's, oh no, this is all in the waiting area, and then have like kind of almost like 2 layouts in one. And this is my other layout, which could be those, these are 3s. Now that's bigger, and then do my little border here and pictures along the bottom and some kind of embellishments and a little journaling box. A title down here at the bottom, Haunted Mansion. All right, these got to come off. I can't scrapbook with bracelets on, but they'll leave my little marks on my hand. Let's look at the pictures. Actually, let's get this all off the table. I'll move it to my side table while I'm working. I have to say, the one thing I don't love about this is that there's not a lot of room for me to show off the papers that I want to use. I wonder if I did, you know, I could do that 4-inch piece right here and put some, you know, old flybait he croaked and these little, you know, Theo, later, you are gone. I can't even read all of these. I am mortal. You know, I could put these kind of down the side and have this kind of be a separate layout. And, you know, I've really been liking using like a frame on my layout. I could even do, like, make this one. Oh, say, where's my picture? Okay, they didn't really have a frame around theirs. I could do like a little frame around here. And then do this only 4 inches. I wouldn't even need 4 inches right here. And then I could do those 3. Yeah, they're not going to fit. I kind of like the idea of doing different sized squares. So like these are 3 3/4 inch, and then these are 3. Except that's, you know, totally not to scale. And then I do my little border, my ghosts, and then I could just have a couple more down here. That's a lot of pictures, but I'm going to get a lot of pictures on here. But that way I can use more of the paper, because really right now I'm not, I mean, when you look at this layout, you hardly see any paper. You get a little bit of background, a little bit of a matte, and it's really all about the border for this, which is fine. But I mean, I'd really like to use the little bat border and the spiderweb border. I probably can't use any of these. Frightfully Funny could work. The Jack-o'-lantern could work. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure. Oh, you can see through the ones I haven't used yet. I should make sure I always put the, you know, the one that has the fewest on top, because I can see through it. Obviously, I like the candy corns the most. Oh, I did love Wicked Cute. But if I put this across the top, you know, like the bats across the top. And I actually do this a lot when I'm figuring out a layout for myself, and then I could use these. I don't know about using these spider webs though, because they're on white. And unless I'm using it on white, I feel like it's really gonna stand out if I put it against, like against a black paper. So maybe that wouldn't be too bad. I kind of like the stars actually. That pulls in all those colors. I might have to do some math, and then this will be title, except I'm not really doing title, right? So, yeah, can't really use any of these stickers. I can maybe use the fence, and I can definitely use the borders. So let's go through this again. Oh, here's another one that could go on the edge, stripey. You may be departed, but your essence will always linger on, I think is what it says. I don't know. I don't think it'll focus in that close, but it's too small for me to see, even with my glasses on. Okay, so I think this is a time when I'm going to need my little photo sizing guides, and I don't seem to have them right here. So I'm going to make some more. I've showed this before. This is one of my favorite techniques to do when I'm trying to do like a collage page. Hello, little cloud punch border. I'll save you for something else. And I'm just going to basically cut two pieces of cardstock. And I'll just do about, they don't need to be this big, but we'll do them 5 by 6-ish. And I'm just going to eyeball that at the 6-inch line. All right, and then I'm going to use my CM mat. I could use this one, but I like the CM one better because of the ruler that's on it. It just makes it easier. So I want to do a 2 3/4 inch picture size. So I think I'm going to do this. So that's about 3 inches. So I'll do it about an inch. Well, I guess I'll do it 1 1/8 inches in. And we'll do 2 3/4. And you know what? I'll tell you, the odds are that I do not have one that's already 2 3/4 inches. And so, whoops. I love the grid on this, this ruler. So, cause this is a 3-inch, so I know 2 3/4 are right here. So right here, I'm also at the 1/8 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. And so I'm going to go 1, 2 3/4, and then I'll just line up this line. And that line. And, oh, yes. If you have an X-Acto knife, the easiest way is for me to just take my little X-Acto knife and cut that out. I keep wishing Creative Memories would come out with an X-Acto knife. I heard a rumor at one point, one of my friends, when CM Japan was shutting down, CM Japan sold a CM branded X-Acto knife. And that was like almost, 6-8 months ago that they went away. So it doesn't matter that this isn't straight because I'm not using it to cut, but I'm going to write on here that these are 2 3/4. And then this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing, 3 3/4. So you can see I'm using the grid lines here and the grid lines on my ruler just to keep everything as straight as I can. Like I say, it doesn't have to be super straight because it's just a sizing template. And I know that Creative Memories sold some little clear plastic photo templates, and I know people love those, but they only had a handful of sizes. And for me, I prefer to have something with a window cut out of it than to have, even a clear plastic piece that I put over and cover the part I want to keep. This allows me to have, and I don't even know if I'm going to want any that are this big. This is kind of big. I don't even, I would rather be able to do this and see what my picture is going to look like than have to cover up what I want in there. So that one, he's the Hatbox Ghost. And I think he was a newer edition. I don't remember when they added the Hatbox Ghost. But we could do Stripey as a 3 3/4. Maybe I do that. Maybe I do these 3 as on this side. I can't decide which ones are easier to read. Kind of like this. So maybe I do these 3 along the outside edge at 3 3/4. Oh, and then I'll have room for like a vertical something here too. And then I do all the rest this 2 3/4 because I could do the Hatbox Ghost. I can do the upstairs in the attic. How many will I be able to fit? 4, 5, 6, probably 6. I could fit 12 across, and then if I need bigger ones at the bottom. Like this one I'd like to keep big because I don't want to have to cut that down. Yeah, it would be really nice to be able to do 15 pictures on this layout. All of us in here. I do like that. That's the best. That's the clearest of the A Ghost Will Follow You Home pictures. Yeah, I got the guys in the cemetery. These people in the cemetery. Michelle and Prince. And this could be at the bottom and they could be smaller. Actually, the ones down here at the bottom. These are kind of blurry. One's not great. Definitely want Madame Leota in there. This one's better. Oh, here's the bride. Here's the poor little graveyard guy and his dog. The hitchhiking ghosts have to have those. It's about the same. I just kind of take a lot of pictures. Oh, and these little guys, these are not going to fit, so they might need to be down at the bottom too. She's at the very end. Remember to bring your death certificate. All right, I'm not going to use all of these. This is the ballroom scene again. I think this one's better because you get the table and the dancers. There's a different Madame Leota, a different one of the bride. Obviously, I took way too many pictures. Oh no, and here's the pet cemetery. Oh, it's the cat and all the birds. That's actually kind of morbid. Maybe I won't put that one in. That one feels too real. All right, so I want 12 of these. So let me figure out which 12 I want. All right, so here's 12 pictures that I'm going to cut to 2 3/4 inches. Oh, except if I do 2 3/4 inches, then I don't have any room for a mat. But I don't know if I can get away with 2.5 inches. Some of them are really close to the edge on 2 3/4. But I'd really like to be able to use all those different colors from the paper because my border is going to be the solid black bats and then the cobwebs. And I'll do something at the bottom, maybe the stars. I think I can cut these to 2.5. Except for maybe this one. No, I think I still can. All right, so I'm going to cut all my photos to 2.5 inches. And then that will give me 4 across, and then I can map them at 2 3/4 and have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So I'll use my trusty, beloved photo trimmer. And this is going to just kind of help me figure out where I need to start my cuts. I like this one. I'm going to cut right here along the edge of that photo to 2.5 is right. No, that's 2.5 is right there. I was cutting it at 3.5. Eek. 2.5. These are awfully small photos, but these are not pictures of, you know, real people. I mean, these are pictures of a Disney ride. Oh yeah, that still works for that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut all these to 2.5, and then we'll come back and figure out the color papers I'm gonna use. Actually, I'm gonna come back in here because I think what I'm gonna do so that I can see this, I'm just gonna mark temporarily with the pencil, like right here where my line is, so that I can see where I'm cutting, and then I will, so I don't accidentally cut at the wrong spot. You know, so that shows me right easily without having to, you know, count lines or keep which one. And then this will just erase with my, because I wrote with pencil. You could also use it, like put a piece of washi tape and mark on it with pen if you need to be able to see it better. But this is actually helping me visualize more like where I want these cuts to be. Okay. So I cut these 3 to 3.5 instead of 3 3/4 because I want to be able to have a mat for those two. And then I have all these 12, and I'm going to wait and see what we're going to do with the bottom panel at the end. I'll move these out of the way. My whole other stack of photos I didn't use. But you never know what you're going to use until you get making the layout, so I don't regret printing them. Especially if I probably got them for, you know, 9 cents a piece. That's worth $1 to me to have more options. Let's pull out the black shimmer. Even though this isn't necessarily what I'm going to use as my base, I think it'll be a good neutral base for me. And it might be what I'm going to use. I might do this as my border, a little black border all the way around it. And then I'll have these 3 on here, on something that fills this whole panel. I mean, I guess I could just leave it on here and then keep this black as the border and then put my piece of other paper. All right, we'll just do 1, 2. I can't fit 3. I mean, I can almost fit 3, but not if I'm going to put mats. So I think I want to have 2, 1. They're not straight. I know that. Yeah. If I do this on a color, then I put like a piece of colored paper, not this one, but like, so it just comes to here, and then it's going to leave the illusion. I mean, it's going to leave that frame around. Right here will be the illusion of a frame, and then this will kind of build my layout on this paper. I don't know if I'm going to have enough on that side to leave my little 1/4 inch mat all the way around. And I don't know which papers. Oh, I guess on the design, they had 2 pieces, so I wouldn't need 2 different colors. I mean, I wouldn't need 2 whole sheets because I could do a half. Well, I'd have to do a little bit more than a half. Maybe I have. Yeah, this is the bats that I love so much. I feel like I want to, I'm liking it on the black, I think. I feel like I want to use the stripe. Wait a second. Oh, okay. So that's not the stripe. The stripe, oh, the stripe is the back of the dots. Oh, I love these dots so much. But if I did the stripe across the top, oh, I'd need 2 pieces of it. And this one's cut in the wrong direction. I would just need 2 half pieces. All right, so I do that at the top, maybe. I mean, the pictures aren't really going to show. I mean, there's not, I guess I could just do the aqua or the terrestrial blue Maybe I just do oh, I like the stripe. And then I do the stars up the bottom. And then we'll do this trick of peeling off so you see how the bats kind of look fat? Once you peel off this backing paper, it's a lot easier to see what you're actually going to get. See the difference between that and that? Very, very, very occasionally I have used this outside paper when I've been desperate, but not for something like this, I don't think. So it's fine for it to go away. So I could do... I have to remind myself, A, that there will be more Halloween paper, and B, that when I'm putting a layout in my scrapbook that I'm going to keep forever, it's okay to use my paper, but it's so hard. This one's a little tricky to cut out around. And it looks like this one has, oh, one of them has half pieces and one of them is full. That's interesting. So if I want it to be full spider webs the whole way, I think I would do, I kind of like the idea of putting the spider webs up at the top. That's where spider webs go, right? They don't go across the bottom. Do I do the bats and the spider webs? Is that too much? And then I could still do the ghost. That'd be like overload of borders. I did something recently that I used like 3 sets of borders on one layout, right? That was weird. That was unusual for me. I kind of like this one. I do really like the bat paper too. Maybe I do that down here at the bottom for like my, I don't know. But this black on the black, I don't know how I feel about that. So maybe I put the cobwebs right here and the bat across the top. It almost looks like the little lacy collars that the people wear in the Haunted Mansion, but I think I need the spiderwebs at the top. But then where do I put the bats? I don't know if I can use the bats, and I love the bats, so maybe I don't use the spiderwebs. Even though the Haunted Mansion, that's like their thing. It's like one of those weird facts about Disney is that they have to make, like, they have to, instead of dusting, they have to undust. They have to put fake cobwebs on things. Really like the bats. And so maybe I do put this. And I need a color. Do I need a little orange? And do I want orange with a pattern, or is this getting to be too patterny? And I don't know how much of this I have. Plus it's my candy corn on the back, which I love. But candy corn does not go with Haunted Mansion. What is this going to be down here with these, with the stars? I'm not sure that the stars are what I want. I love the bats, but I like this too. So I'm just going to use it. We're going to have cobwebs in the middle of the page, even though cobwebs go at the top. All these little guys down at the bottom somehow. Kind of, I think this is all going to be very straight across, and there may be, in fact, a little extra border right here between these. In which case I'll have to do something down here. Or even pull these guys over. And do something on the outside. But not that. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think I'm just going to use orange cardstock to mat these. And you know, if you look at a color wheel, blue and orange are opposite of each other on a color wheel. So this is a little more teal, but blue and orange are complementary colors, so they go well together. So these are 2.5, which means I need to cut these at 2 3/4. Give me a little extra. It's 4. So there'll be 4 on this page. Here's my edge of the paper right there. Ah. So 2.5. All that gives me is like 1/8 of an inch in between them. This is 2 3/4, 2 3/4. But if I'm going to go all the way across my page, basically, you know, they'll each fit in a 3-inch square. Kind of like that. And I don't quite have all that because I wanted to leave a little border on that side. I might have to cut a couple of these down a smidge. Or I'll just go off the edge. Maybe I'll just do that, go off the edge. Or I could just squeeze them together a little bit more. I could leave 1/8 of an inch in between them. Oh yeah, and then that gives me 1/4 of an inch on the end. Great, that's what I'm gonna do. So I think I gotta figure out the measurements. If I want to have 1/4 inch up there plus room for the bats, which I do. And then, gosh, it would be nice if I could just use 6 inches of this, but I know I'm going to need more than 6 inches. So I want the bats, and then I want the pictures. Although that's 5 inches. That's 1/4. This I could do this at 6 inches. No, 6.5, 6 3/4 is about what I need to get this the size that I want. Darn it. That would be 6 inches right there, and it's too short because I want the bats. So 6.5, but then I'll still have 5.5 left of, yeah, I need a little bit more, 6 3/4. 6 3/4 inches. Maybe I should cut it at 7. That way I don't have to fold up my arm, and then I can always overlap when I put this on. So I'm going to take both of these beautiful polka dot papers that I love, and I'm going to cut them at the same time. I don't know if there's a direction. These look like that's the same. And we'll stack them up. And I want it to be 7, and I don't want to have to fold up my arm, so I'm going to cut it at 5. Because I know I'm really good at math that adds up to 12. Okay, so 5 plus 7 is 12. So this 5 I can save for the beautiful polka dots. And then this one I'll use for my pictures. One of them I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off. And then this one I need to figure out the width I need. I think about like right that. Oh, that one's going to be 6 inches. We'll cut this one at 6 inches because it doesn't have the bats. I mean, it has the bats in the other direction. Oh, I have to fold out my arm. Okay. So maybe need to figure out something to do with these little guys. Right, I'm going to put this here and this here. Oh yeah, see how I've got it like of that 1/4 inch, and I could kind of gut out the inside of this beautiful black shimmer paper so it's not all covered up, but I think I'm too lazy to do that. Okay, so this is 7. So this one would need to be 5 less a 1/2 inch, so 4.5. This is a 0, so I need to put it right there. Okay, so I need 2 of these that are 4.5. And because I just looked at the back of the paper and it's got this stripe, I'm going to cut it so that I'm cutting across the stripe just in case I want to use the stripe for something later. I always prefer to have it going across. So 4.5. And this one I'm going to cut that 1/4 inch off, which is the outside edge of the gray mat. And then another piece, unless I have a piece that's already cut. I got that piece, but it's too small. All right, I don't. So another piece at 4.5. And 6. See, I let go of it and it kind of pushed it down a little bit. So I'm just letting that, I'm ignoring that. Okay. This and this. And it's maybe a little bit, I might need to overlap it just a hair. Okay, I don't know about this one right here. This maybe needs something else. And all of a sudden I've got like, I'm thinking of how we used to use the tag maker to make like tombstones. It could be something, maybe I need to do something over here on the side. So you can see that I've already gone way far afield from this sketch, but I was inspired by this sketch. I started with this sketch and then I made it work for me. So I know a lot of people that they like the measurements, they want to do it exactly, and that's great if you have these pictures, but don't be afraid to use the sketch as a complete jumping off point and do your own thing. I'm a big fan of that. Oh, this is killing me to cover up all this beautiful shimmer paper just so I can have one little piece. I think I am going to have to gut out the inside. But before I do that, I think I'm going to have to weld these two guys together. I'm just going to use a piece of, oh look, this was in my scrap bin, hide and eke. Could have used hide and eke. I mean, I obviously have hide and eke around here somewhere because I just did a video a few weeks ago with it. But thanks for letting me go out of order so that I could do something fun with Halloween. All right, I'm going to butt these up against each other, and I'm going to make sure that this edge right here is just right. And I suppose you could do this with the repositionable, but I feel more secure using the regular because basically I just taped it as if I had taken Scotch tape and taped it together, whereas the repositionable is all the little dots. So now I'm going to just take this piece, which is going to be too long, I just realized. and cover up all my adhesive. Oh, but I love this. I love the dots and the stripes together. All right. Actually, it looks like it poked off a little bit on this side too. I'm gonna kind of lift it up so it doesn't go quite to the edge. I don't want to risk cutting my paper. We just need to cover up that adhesive. And I just cut my paper. Okay, shh. Don't tell anybody that I just cut my paper. We're going to cover that up with the sticker anyway. Okay, so now I can take this and I can gut it, and I only need a 1/4 inch clearance, so I'm going to be able to do the 1 inch, which is the easiest. When I do a U-shaped frame, what I like to do, I still put it at the 1 inch, but I'm going to come down here to the bottom. You know, this is an inch from the line to the edge, so I'm going to start it right here. I'm doing a U-shaped frame, so I'm starting at 1 inch up, and I'm cutting up. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to, again, start down here at the bottom where I want my cut to end, and cut up. And now to make my letter U or letter C shaped, I'll put it here. And then I go from, basically, again, the top of my blade housing at the edge of my paper. And then I'm going to come all the way down to here so that the end of my blade housing is at the edge of my paper. All right, and it doesn't matter that, you know, it kind of made a little X because we're covering that up. But now I want this back just to help keep everything straight. And I don't know if we'll do it on the other side or not, because it's a lot of work to cut just for that little bit. I want it to be here. And my friend Sherry Tilley puts her adhesive on the background page. I usually put it on this and then try to stick it down, but I think I'm going to try Sherry's method. Sherry's the one that taught me how to weld. I used to think that I hated welding, because the way I first learned to do it was you put all your welding pieces on this paper and then you tried to stick it down and keep your pieces still snug together. And I was not good at that. Like, I'm just not good at keeping my adhesive on the background paper either, apparently. But Sherry's the one that taught me to put your pieces together and then put the strip over the top to cover the sticky. And now I love welding. I love being able to be more frugal with papers that I love. And if it's a paper that I don't love, then I don't bother with the welding. It's like, yes, go away, you paper that I don't love, that I want to get rid of. But black shimmer paper I love. All the shimmers. Okay, so now I'm square on there. And I like to line it up so that this inside edge, just want to make sure it's straight. That's not centered. That's way too much at this end. So I better measure this. Sorry, little guy. It should be 11.5 inches, and it is. So why am I not? I should have a 1/4 inch clearance on either side. I worry sometimes that when you guys see me do stuff like this, you think, this is too much of a pain. I don't want to bother with scrapbooking. I think I've told you that I have a good friend who told me once that she thinks that if she would have started scrapbooking now, she might not have ever scrapbooked, because she says it feels like so much work. There we go. That's better. And we will use just a little hair of Repo under here. And stick that little piece down that I cut off. So, okay, that looks pretty straight around the border to me. And then when I do the other side, I'll just line it up with these pieces. I've been having a lot of people lately at my crops asking about the case for the jumbo tape runner. They are supposed to be back in November, so maybe next week, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know when they're coming back, but CM is projecting November. However, the repositionable adhesive refills have sold out. So my advice, buy the case now and use up the, I don't know if they're going to give us one that comes with the repositionable. Buy the case now when it comes back and use up that extra permanent refill so that when the repo refills come in January, you're all good to go. Or get with somebody who prefers the, who prefers the permanent adhesive like I do. And maybe they will, buy the repo one off you. Or buy the permanent one. But then you won't have any refill until those come in. So that was an interesting, I don't even know what the word is I'm looking for. Ordering decision. And this is not exactly right. It's like it's because it's crooked. An interesting marketing decision by CM that surely they should have known that when they came out with the repo refill that they were going to sell out of the cases. I wonder if they thought that we were going to just swap back and forth. I don't know. Do they know us at all? Aha, I was not straight. That's what happened before. Oh, hello, little teal polka dots. I've actually used this paper on some non-Halloween layouts before because I love the little teal polka dots. I love polka dots. I love stripes and polka dots, and I don't like plaid. And Creative Memories keeps giving us lots of plaid and not doing so much for me with the polka dots. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I'm thinking something on this side, maybe with tags. I don't know. I'm having thoughts, so we'll see about that. Now we're going to do the bats. And I want the bats to just kind of go off the edge. My daughter Michelle loves bats for some reason. Actually, I think it's because from going to Disney as often as we have gone. Oh, look, it worked because it's 6 inches. At Animal Kingdom, they have a bat house, like a display where you can go in and see the bats. And they have a bat skeleton on display. And bat skeletons look just like human skeletons. They have like a pelvis and shoulders and a spine, and then their wings are basically the fingers. And it is the coolest thing to see this animal, something from the animal kingdom, not just Disney's Animal Kingdom, but an animal that really is so much like a human. I mean, bats are mammals, right? So, see, that one's got a little divot on it, but that's okay. I might have I could cover it up with an extra bat. I like to keep the nice looking one at the outside, but you see how it got bent? That's going to drive me nuts. So I'm going to take this bat right here, the whole bat, and we're just going to put it right over the top of this bat so that I won't have to see that little crease. I could have put him on a foam square, but I can't even tell. Sitting here right here, I mean, you can barely tell that I had to patch that one. And I didn't have to patch it, but I chose to. All right, so we'll do that. And then I think I want to have whole spider webs and not the ones that start with the half. So I'm going to do it right along this. I'm going to cover up that place where I accidentally cut it. right along this edge. Oh, yes, I love it with the spider web. And then it needs to go in this direction. So I'm gonna cut. Oh, then I have a little half spider web I could use somewhere if I want. Oh, perfect, right there in the middle. So I'm glad I left some of it on its packing paper, just in case I want to use it for something else. Okay. There we go. Oh, I'm happy. I'm liking this. I don't know what's happening with these three guys right now, but I'm happy with how this is going. So, oh, I need to finish cutting my little orange squares. And actually, maybe that's a little bit more space than I needed. I could have moved that up. If I hadn't stuck this down, I think I might have moved that up 1/4 inch, but I'm actually just gonna pull it down a little bit and leave a bigger gap where the spider web goes, or center it, maybe center it between the two. Yeah, let's center it. And just because I'm going to use my mat and my ruler to make sure that these guys are straight. So they're going to be at like the 7" and the 4" maybe? No, yeah, I think I need them to be down here and leave a little bit more of a gap with the bats right there. So 7. And basically, with this on this side, I can just center it between the 1 and the 3. Leave a little extra on that outside. On the other side, I'm going to have to fiddle with it a little bit so that I can have that extra 1/4 inch at the end. But these I'm just going to center. It's still going to be a little bit more of a border right there. And four and a quarter, maybe right there. I think that's okay. That's an awfully big gap up at the top. Oh, sorry. But I've already stuck them down, so if I, you know what, that it didn't even come at 7. That came at 6 7/8. All right, it's going to be at 7 1/4. That's what I was supposed to be at. So it's 5 1/4 on this side and 7 1/4. That's actually 6 3/4 on this side because it goes in the direction. Thankfully, that didn't stick down that hard to my background paper, and it didn't peel it off. It didn't peel off any of the color. Okay. So this is going to 4 1/8. There we go. That's a good gap up there at the top. I'm happy with that. I do wish I would have waited and put my sticker on a little bit higher up, but oh well. It'll just give me a little bit more of this blue color that I like. All right. Okay, so let me cut my other 8 orange squares and stick them down on this side, and I'll do that. I'll snip that part out so you don't have to watch me cut that. Okay, now I've got that side down. I'm so pleased with this. I'm so glad I jumped ahead to Halloween. I'm having such a great time. Now the way that the Haunted Mansion ride goes, like the Hatbox Ghost, and then the kind of the ooh, I could have that little. The hitchhiking ghosts are at the end. Oh, the attic. Madame Leota. Oh boy, I think Madame Leota is before. I want these guys up here. Kind of the whole graveyard scene. It's down here. I want her up in the attic. Uh-oh. Oh no, I'm good. I'll do it like that. That's kind of the order that you see the pictures, and like nobody's gonna care except me. But you know, you Hatbox Ghosts, then you have the little seance, then you have the little fighting ghosts, and then you go up into the attic, and then you go down to the graveyard. So let me stick these down. While I was sticking these down, I was thinking about what do I want to do with this section right here, and I was kind of thinking I need a little bit more orange or something to tie it together. So I'm thinking, what if I pull back out the tree? Remember, I had a couple of these. Oh, it's kind of in the wrong direction. I don't really want the owl, but it's going to cover up the owl. So I said I had one that was already cut in half. Oh, got it. It's got something cut out of it. I can't use that one. Ha! I have two of them. For whatever reason, I think I needed this orange for something else. So if I put these pictures on here, like it's going to cover up that owl. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put, it's not the same orange though. Will that matter? Well, do we care that it's not the same orange? I don't know if I care. I want to not care. It's a little bit yellower than that orange. I think I'm not going to care. I think I'm going to let myself not care. So this space, where did I put my ruler? This was 6 inches, so this is going to be 6 inches, but I want a 1/4 inch. So I want this to be 5.5 inches. And I think I'd rather cut off this side. So 5.5 is to the exact end of the trimmer right here. It's going to cut off this little branch. And then I need to cut a 1/2 inch off the top. My blade it's feeling like it's cutting funny, so I think I need to flip over my mat. The owl is distracting me because I don't like the owl at all. Does that look straight? Yeah, the owl's distracting you too, huh? Just while it's staring up at you. I wonder if I put this around here, if I put this orange on it. No, or if I put the blue. The aqua. Maybe I map these guys in aqua. I think that's what I'm gonna do. They are 3.5, so these need to be 3 3/4, and I'm gonna flip this over. And I don't know, it might not be quite ready to go, but I can just feel it. Like it feels like a couple of times I've thought, oh no, I have a decorative blade in here. And it may be time for me to swap out my blade. The official kind of, oh no, that was beautiful. The official Creative Memories guidelines are that the mat is good for 2,000 cuts, 500 per line. And the blade is good for 2,000 cuts, which, you know, if you do the math, means one blade, you know, replace your blade every time you replace your mat. But that's crazy. I don't think you need to replace your blade every time you replace your mat. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. No, they're too tall because I trimmed off a 1/2 inch. So we've got to trim these down a little bit. Maybe this one at the bottom I can just trim. Usually if I'm going to have one that's shorter, I like it to be at the top. But I don't think anyone's going to notice if I, one here, and then this one will be 1/4 inch shorter. Cut this guy down to 3.5. And then, and you can cut your pictures with this trimmer, but I feel like it dulls my blade faster. So I'm gonna cut. This is all just like pavement and whatever anyway. So you can see where I put my little pencil line when I was cutting it before. 3 1/4. Maybe down here. Oh yeah. Oh, I love it with the tree. Even though it's not the same orange, kind of, this is a little bit yellower orange. I love it. Love it, love it. And now it's got me in a spooky mood. We don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters at our house. We live in an older neighborhood, built in the 90s, and it's on a hill. And, you know, we got empty nesters, and we're starting now to kind of have some turnover. And we actually have a handful of families now on our little cul-de-sac who have kids. So maybe we'll get more trick-or-treaters. Gosh, that owl is giving me the creeps. Stop looking at me. But we make it worth our while to come to our house. So turns out you can buy one of those the boxes of, you know, 24 full-size candy bars for about the same size as the bag of 150 mini candy bars. And so several years ago, we just started buying that. And we've never had more than 30 trick-or-treaters. So I don't know what we'll do if we ever, you know, break that record. Actually, I think these guys need to, I didn't do my thing where I put them top and bottom. Then put the one in the middle. There we go. Oh, I like it with the tree. I like it, I like it, I like it. All right, so now all I have left to do is figure out what we're going to put across the bottom right here with the other pictures. And they are these. I want to put these guys. Oh, the ballroom. Oh, do I need the ballroom? I want to put us. Maybe I do these in ovals. I want that one of Princeton and Michelle, that one of me and Aubrey. Although this is both of us together, I could just do one. I could do that, just one of that and one of these, put her in the oval and put that in an oval, and put the ballroom right here, trim it down, and then the little ghosty guys. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut this down. This is 3 and just shy of 3.5. So I cut this down to 3 inches. I think that will be perfect. I don't have anything remotely resembling a title, though. And I don't know if I need something. I can't use the Happy Halloween banner. What did one of the banners said something? I can't remember what it said. Put that right there. I'm not matting it, but I've matted everything else. Maybe I matte this one in that color. Just a little bit of it. Yeah, I don't have enough. I'd have to cut into that whole piece of paper. I bet I could patch this together to make a mat. But I don't know if I can do the pieces on the other side. Seriously, that's a darling, cute little owl. Why is he giving me the creeps? I'm going to cut this a little bit big. And then, oh, I got this piece at the top. Oh, this piece. Ha! That piece that I cut off the top, or the side of this. We'll put right, I think I'll cut a little 1/2-inch piece off. I do a lot of this, actually, of kind of piecing papers together to make a mat that works for me. So as you can see, I'm just sticking this piece over to cover up that little tree branch. And now I'll come back and I'll trim this down to this real mat size that I want. Ta-da! So you can see that there's a little, you know, that's where the patch is, but nobody's ever going to notice that. If I had enough of this paper, I think I might feel compelled to go back and remat all of those pictures. So it's luckily for us, I do not. But I think I might be able to do something similar with these other, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do because I have this extra little scraps. Oh, ovals. Ovals. Where are my ovals? I've got, oh, here's one. I've got this one right here. I mean, it's in this oval frame already. So I kind of like to cut as an oval. Do I want to tuck it under that? Maybe I do. Maybe that's what I'll use my extra piece of sticker for. All right, and I'm not gonna try and do a full oval because it's I want it to line up with this little frame. So we're just gonna, this is a self-healing mat on my workstation. Don't cut on your table. Although when I got this mat, I got a new one, a bigger one, when I was rearranging my scrapbook room. Oh, apparently my son just started the dryer upstairs. Sorry about that. And I vowed I wasn't going to cut on it anymore. So I put these guys up here. Put these in a little skinny, the little singing heads. One of them looks a lot like Walt Disney. I think that's why I always like it. I don't think it is. I don't think was modeled on him or anything. And I can't tell which one it is here looking at this picture. But every time we go through, I think, oh, that's one that looks like Walt Disney. Actually, this one will fit right there. Got to do something else with this orange to make it look intentional and not accidental. And I think we'll do this. No, that one's too small. All right, I'm gonna have to find my bigger ovals. I only have these two hanging up here by my desk. All right, here's my other, oh, look, I have two of these. I don't know where the big giant one is, but that's the size I think I need, that oval. I've, over the years, ended up with multiple sets of these custom cutting systems when I've met people who are like former Creative Memories advisors, or people that are cleaning out their stuff, and they'll just give me their old stuff. And sometimes people lose one of their shapes and they don't want to buy a whole new set. And so I just have a whole bin of them, of all the extra colors or all the extra pieces. But I shouldn't have kept this at home. Oh, except I just made a mistake because I cut this with the red blade, but that means I can't do a matte because that's the biggest size. Might have to cut this down. Okay, so now we're gonna have to do a little corrective work. I'm gonna take this scrap of paper and I'm gonna put it on here so that I have something to grab onto. And I'm gonna cut this with the green blade. That one I cut on the outside, so the red blade was the correct blade. But this one I need a little extra space, and so we're just gonna try and see if I can fix this mistake. It's harder to cut because I'm now cutting through the cardstock, although I don't care if I cut through the cardstock. I don't need to cut through the cardstock. I just need to cut the picture. There we go. Oh, no, it didn't do well. Look, I messed it up. It's straight on here. Ugh, messed it up. Okay, well, don't tell anyone. We're going to, how can I fit this in? Trying to figure out how I can get this and have the most efficient use of my space. Actually, if I do it like this. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna stick this down. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm off the table again. I'm gonna stick this down and just kind of cover. I want this. I'd kind of like to match up the pattern, but I can't really do it. So no one's gonna know. Not gonna matter at all. And then this piece is a little folded. Let's trim that off. I'll put adhesive all the way around. I think I'm gonna have to fussy cut this one. I wish I dared cut with the other oval, but I think we're just gonna fussy cut. Apparently last week was like National Fussy Cutting Day or something. I saw it on social media. I don't know who gets to decide when National Fussy Cutting Day is, but if I had cut this correctly in the first place by cutting it with the green blade, and then I could have just cut this with the red blade and it would have been fine, but that's not too bad. Right there. Yeah, it's a little crooked. And then this one, it's going to be the same problem. I have to patch myself a mat. This is ridiculous. Don't care this much. It's just silly for me to care so much about my mat not having any. Oh, this piece, I'll put this piece on the outside right here. I don't want any of the tree branches on it. And it's just silly for me to care because it doesn't matter. And yet, it matters to me. And I matter. So it's my scrapbook. I can do what I want. No, didn't quite cover that up. down just a hair more. All right. So we want this to be, put this on here. Right about there. And now I'm going to cut it with the green blade. And again, I've got to cut through a couple layers, so it takes a little more force to cut through, and hopefully they don't scoot. Lots easier to do if you're not trying to use paper from, you know, this is from old CM, so it's at least 12 years old. Your CM went away in 2013, so oh look, it's a little bit longer than I needed it to be. It gave me a mat all the way around. That piece is not. A little harder to do it this way. Yeah, it's not quite centered. Oh well. And then I'll put this right here. And then I am going to try and find the other piece of that. Cover it up. Didn't I do that? I just did that with something. Yeah, that's bothering me. My fussy cutting was not quite up to par. And the picture itself is crooked, so the whole thing's a hot mess. I just want to put this just barely covering like that top, the edge right here on this. I don't want there to be like this black part showing. I'm going to cover just right up here because I don't want this to be down in covering us up. And I think I'm going to have to fix this one. This is bothering me, but I don't know what to do about it. I guess I could try and cut it with the blue blade all the way down. It's crooked. And I can't stand it being crooked. If I had my little templates, which I do have somewhere, I could use that, but I'm just gonna eyeball it, and I can kind of see where, yeah, this is, the whole thing is scooting. It's not working. It's a disaster. No, don't scoot, don't scoot. Yeah, it's moving. I didn't use enough adhesive, I guess. Oh, and now I just ruined it. Ruined it. Now it's even smaller. Well, maybe we're not going to put the hurry back lady there. Maybe we'll scoot this over. And put this right here. Well, no, I think I liked it better over here. All right, sorry, little, whoever you are, lady from the Haunted Mansion. I mean, I could, like, if this was a picture that was really important to me, I could reprint it or something, but I don't care enough. So, oh well. Don't tell anyone. And then I'm just gonna put this piece right over the top. And then it just lines up perfectly as if I had done it that way from the beginning. All right, now do I journal? What do I think I just need to say something about the Haunted Mansion. Oh, let's look at the stickers. I think there was something that I thought that was like a banner that I thought I could use, and maybe there's a couple stickers I could put up here at the top because I feel like it needs just a little embellishment besides all the stickers that I already used and this busy paper, and so maybe it doesn't. All right, so we've got Booyah, we've got Frightfully Funny. I don't think I like either of those. I can't use anything else. None of the other things work for Happy Halloween. What about the other one? This one, Happy Halloween, The Perfect Pumpkin, Boo to You, Halloween Party, Carving Out Memories, no. No. Apparently this one was, oh, this was an edition. So it was what you got, the papers and then like 4 papers and then 1 sticker. And apparently I really liked this one because I've got the same sticker 3 times. All right. Yeah, none of those are gonna work. I thought that maybe I could use Frightfully Funny, but I could use that little arrows, or these arrows. But I think perhaps I just need a piece of, not orange paper, maybe that blue paper, or even the aqua. Maybe I'll use the aqua down here, just a little journaling, or kind of like this. We could put something different in the circle. I could just use that little frame, except it's not a circle. It's kind of an oval. It's the same oval. It's too small. Really nice if it would just fit this circle. Which I think actually it almost does. So I think I'm going to punch something out of this. I don't even know if I want it on white though. I think I'll punch it out of this. And we'll try it. No, that didn't work. It would need to be white if I'm going to cover that up. Well, luckily I got lots of white. Oh yeah, if I just write, I use this, I do a little strip of journaling, and then put that right there. I think that will work. So let me figure out something to write for my journaling, and then something to write on the little title. And then I do think I need to put some other, I can't use the purple because I didn't use purple anywhere else, but I could use the little bat could go somewhere else. Maybe up here. tie the bats in together. I guess I could have used one of those. Maybe I will use one of those because this guy doesn't have a head. He's just a little bat shape. But I got these bats still. So I'll put him up here, tied with those. I'm not going to use pumpkins. This is not a pumpkin. This is not Halloween. I've already used the haunted house twice. All right, let me figure out some journaling and then I'll come back and wrap it all up. So I tried a couple of different things. I tried writing a little title twice, and but I'd already stuck this down. So again, that's my mistake. It cannot say trick or treat because it had nothing to do with trick or treat. So instead, I think I'm just going to use this arrow and kind of put it, I don't know. But because I've used this arrow now, I feel like I need to bring the other arrows in. At least, I mean, I guess I could do this one has a heart on it. I don't want a heart. Maybe I'll just do, that one. And somewhere there's got to be the other, here's the other arrow. I could use this up here. Do I put this on a white circle up there too? I don't think I need to. I don't love that, but it kind of solved my problem. Put the other arrow. There we go. I got 4 arrows, which is one too many. I don't love the arrows. I mean, I guess I could use this one somewhere because I used 4 and they say you're supposed to use like groups of 5, but I don't feel like I need another arrow somewhere. Anyway, I'm not going to do it. I love how this turned out. I love that I was able to combine 2 paper packs. I don't do that a lot. I do wish I had this orange to map those photos, but I think it's okay. I think they're still kind of close enough in the orange family. And the arrows are okay, not my favorite. I wish I hadn't stuck that down. But I just journaled the outsides of the Haunted Mansions are different at the 2 US parks, but the inside ride is basically identical. We love it. Not a lot to say about the Haunted Mansion. There's no pictures of us. And so, you know, this is one of those layouts that probably doesn't need to be saved in my scrapbook. I have scrapbooked the Haunted Mansion many times. This ride doesn't have a ride photo. The one in Florida has an on-ride photo, and that one's more fun because it's basically this, where they show you with the, you know, with the ghost sitting on your lap. But I love scrapbooking the Haunted Mansion, and I don't, you know, do a lot with Halloween anymore now that my kids are grown. So this is my only chance to use some of these fun papers. So Wicked Cute and Halloween Primary Edition, I think. And this will be layout 17. It will not chronologically be right after the Sleeping Beauty. It's going to be a few, you know, 5 or 6 layouts later. When we get to that point, I'll remind you that that's what's going to come next. But I really wanted to work on this right here on the day before Halloween or whenever you're watching it. So thanks for watching. This was a little bit longer video. I'll try to edit out some of my hemming and hawing and trimming and, you know, decision making, but I had a really fun time with it. This is not, you know, it never is the direction I thought I was going to go, but I hope that it taught you a little bit about using the sketches and that you do not have to be limited by what the sketch shows. You can take it and run with it. So layout 17 or week 17, I guess we'll call it the Haunted Mansion. And I will be back again next week. And until then, next week will be November. Goodness sakes. Until then, I hope that you are having lots of fun, making fun memories and taking photos to remember all the good things in your life. And happy scrapbooking and happy Halloween.